Read it tomorrow, watch it in the evening, and hear it now on Oblate Radio.
Good afternoon and welcome to you who are listening to Oblate Radio Liseli and those watching us on our Facebook page. With the main news, I am Priska Siamfumba. Coming up in the news. Mongo residents call for immediate rehabilitation of Chisonga Road. Mongo Disability Chairperson concerned about safety of persons with disabilities from harassment and abuse. Chipolo Polo set to take on Morocco this afternoon. These and many other stories, but first we hear from the church. Pope Leo has invited Christians, especially young people, to direct their lives upwards to God and make them masterpiece of holiness, service, and joy. Presiding over the Mass and canonization of Pier Diego Frasta and Carlo Actus in St. Peter's Square, Pope Leo paid tribute to the extraordinary witness to faith, hope, and trust in God, and to the Lord's great plan for eternal joy and happiness. The Pope declared the two young Italian saints as the start of the celebration on Sunday, 7th September 2025. In his homily, the Pope reflected on the extraordinary witness of both new saints, recalling words from the first Sunday reading from the Book of Wisdom. The Pope observed that, like King Solomon, these young men sought the gift of wisdom to better understand God's plans for our lives and world, and follow them faithfully, and in doing so, they used their gifts to bring others to God through their example, words, and actions. Pope Leo underscored how both Saint Frost and Carlo invite everyone, especially young people, not to squander their lives, but to direct them upwards and make them masterpieces. The Pretoria High Court has reserved judgment in a case in which former President Edgar Chagwa Lungu's family is seeking permission to appeal an earlier ruling that ordered his repatriation for a state funeral in Zambia following his death on June 5, 2025. Mr. Lungu died in South Africa, and 3 months later he has not yet been laid to rest due to a standoff between his family and the Zambian government over his burial site. Residents of Ilute Ward in Mongo District are calling for immediate rehabilitation of the Chisonga Road. Speaking to Oblate Radio Liseli News, the resident states that the road, which is in a deplorable state, is inconveniencing, threatening the safety of both travelers and local residents.
Passengers vilala waloka mkwakwa wana kuli mkwakwa shule ahulu so neki alukala mali mota wana kuli lutwa olo butuku unanisifo yo masha alukala mali mota aluza mai hande kama kisa mkwakwa shule o
Chisonga Road uziyele ila ahulu mo fitanga mabasi kimakilisha batile linzi mwateni choene lukupa kwa muso kuli baluvele kwa teni tama kiluziyele ile mnako yapula mo waeza nganto watibanga au tiba konje kuponcha kama maplot ya batu choeli motali yeza kipeto luziyele lwakupafya kwa muso kuli balutuse kwa teni kwa mkwakwa luziyele ile kiwakale konwa ubonali kuli wazela pili vaima manenge mkwakwa wao bakone kuitusisa ona bakengisa kuli mabampu ainzimo wakona kupuluhera mwanto mwa mota bakengisa kuli mkwakwa wao mabampu kikuswa yake baba chwale aukona ali mane vaima kufitao konje anani 1 month mwenti nebe wao 3 months wakona mba yako na kuzwa yashinyea bakengisa mabampu
pension almota seli ashwa almost every month lwaeza shinye sinamo iponera mo kuli mo akunalo limo kimi kuzamanya nikabunya na chwalo kona kofita avoso na uzama 20 minutes uzama 1 hour plus.
And Ilutawa Development Committee has called for the local authority to prioritize Chisonga Road as it serves many people who use the road. And the WDC has since called for the construction of the Chisonga Road to bituminous standard as it is the only road in the area.
Lubata muso ukono kulukisiza mkwakwao ni yabaka kona kulukisa mkwakwao ni kukabonala kulikizolo pili batu baswe bavilaela kutahakulu nikubulela kuli muso awubeleki kaho lusolwa iza sensitize nikubulela muso kuli at least bakono kulukisiza mkwakwao kakuli mkwakwao kiwo na mkwakwa yebonala kuli zibize mwa Mungu
kasheku luinzi mwa road ya Chisonga lubona kuli road yeke isinyeha already directive izwile kale ku president kuli mafika road sawelekewe kuli amubone limota ze Liseli kuzamaila mazazi ona watu abasaza maya hande bakengisa kuli kuzwa kwakashumba kutaha kwanu ini said ya 25 to 30 minutes watu banga almost 1 hour kinyi bakengisa mkwako oshwile.
It is the main road of for Ilute, and Ilute is an area which has thousands of people living here. But from the beginning, this road has never been maintained. The maintenance that has been going on is whereby they just bring the grader and grade without putting in the proper gravel soils. But our ultimate appeal is that we want this road to be upgraded to bituminous standard because this is the only road that we have in Ilute.
Recently, Maungo Municipal Council Director of Engineering, John Siangando, disclosed that some roads in Mongo District are earmarked for rehabilitation and Chisonga Road is one of the priority roads to be worked on this year. A resident of Nalolo District has called for the construction of a mortuary in the area. Speaking during Nalolo CDF radio program on Friday, the caller identified as Lubase from Moyo area stated that people face challenges when dealing with the loss of loved ones. He says people travel long distances to take their loved one to nearby mortuaries, hence the need to have one in the locality. In his response to his call, the area member of parliament, Imanga Wamnyema, emphasized the need for the residents to apply as a priority project in the 2026 CDF.
Utuleta baya mochari mina iziba kwa makalero mochari yukabea manalo kono notuma wadia moyo sina amu glezi kuliki mamuleni mimaziba sizo saru nakakuba bana mamalosi twale lutalima mwanalo east kubea mochari kwali kuma kakuba kuli kona fa kaufu fokweza kuli kona kole nimuleni twale miape muhato akina kakuba MP kuza maisa mischa wansoma sina kuona utokwa wakuli 2026 DFA lu kone kubera mochari fa falikuma mi kona spatela sono luona kuli so na ruli sakona kwezenge kuli sa bafa kafinya mama wadia ya izi mopso kwa.
Government says introducing mandatory lifestyle audits for public office bearers to ensure they are corruption-free is a legal issue that requires a national consensus. Chief Government Spokesperson Cornelius Mwetwa says any move to introduce such audits would necessitate a change in law and public consultation with careful consideration of scope, targets, and broader implications for property rights and civil liberties. Mr. Mwetwa notes that the proposal raises questions about the Bill of Rights guarantee to own and peacefully enjoy property and may conflict with existing constitutional protections. He has highlighted that the current legal framework already provides mechanisms to deal with property reasonably suspected to be proceeds of crime. However, a government expert in Mungu District, KB Kalima, tells Oblate Radio Liseli News that government does not need consensus from citizens to proceed with introduction of the mandatory lifestyle audit of public office bearers.
You don't need consensus from the people, but it's something that can be done by government. The people have elected the government. The government is in place, so they need to change. They can put in policies that are favorable to the people. So there is no really need for government to seek consensus from the national consensus from the people. They already have the mandate. All they need to do is change the policies, make sure that all these lifestyles are applicable to everyone, politicians and to civil servants and everyone. In fact, most of the money or the resources that are being misused, they are actually in the civil service. The politicians are just a few people. But you find that those in the public service, there are many, and they have been there for many years. And most of the resources, they know how they misuse the resources.
A resident of Mwesa Ward in Sananga District has raised concerns regarding delayed payment of cash for work beneficiaries in Phase 7 and 8. And speaking to Oblate Radio Liseli News, Jones Muyunda notes that Sananga Town Council had demanded contract, scope of work, daily register certification and photographic evidence forms which have been submitted 2 weeks ago. Mr. Muyunda says that after all the submissions, payments are not reflecting in the accounts of cash for work beneficiaries, further calling on Sananga Town Council to look into the matter. And speaking to Sananga Town Council Public Relations Officer Kumoyo Akakandelwa, Chikote notes that the delayed payments for the cash for work under Phase 7 and 8 is due to ward development committees who have not yet submitted the required supporting documents to the local council. She has since called on ward development committees to provide the needed documents even before funds run out, as it is the mandatory requirements to facilitate payments once resources are available. Mrs. Chikote says that the council is still waiting for Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development to release the funds. And materials for the water installation project at Lifuti Community School in Nakanya Ward of Nadikwanda constituents have been delivered ahead of the construction of a 1x3 classroom block. Confirming these developments to Oblate Radio Liseli News this afternoon, Nakanya Ward Councillor, confirming this development to Oblate Radio Liseli News this morning, Nakanya Ward Development Committee WDC Chairperson Muyunda Mundia explains that the delivery marks the start of works that will soon see the school expand its learning space. He stresses that the new classrooms block is expected to ease congestion and provide a better learning environment for pupils. Mr. Mundia states that the water reticulation project will not only serve the school but also benefit nearby villages as residents will have access to clean water.
Valutiseride liberexozapo tanki standi ni mapaipi ni vimuliso ni vitamiso chipalo mane ni tupoke tracement so to 5 ndishakona leva konile kutisa kwateni aneli tami yaho ya makilasi 1x3 ya basikati kona leva konile kutira kwani pali futi September nawenda pia basikakuta kutona kunseveru kalali kono ncha sepo itendwa kisakuli ke batangetira demreti na sepa baka connect ni kujimijia ndi kukaofinyo na ifumane kwa tenime kona imone wambole ani mone uto ya tuksokuote tu dimeana kwa yaba ni mkopano kwani kwa futi wifitawelesi ndi kukaofinyo na sikano amesha kwa poti samia yabasilie testabila wakisikuona kwa alikadhaa hata fali.
Mongo District Chairman for Persons with Disabilities has raised concerns over the safety of persons with disabilities, calling for stronger measures to protect them from harassment and abuse at the hands of junkies. Speaking to Oblate Radio Liseli News, Abraham Sitali notes that persons with disabilities are among the most vulnerable groups, often targeted by junkies who take advantage of their limited mobility and lack of self-defense. Mr. Sitali has emphasized the need for collective responsibility in safeguarding their rights, further calling on Zambian Police Service and other law enforcement agencies to increase patrols in areas commonly frequented by junkies and to swiftly act on reports of abuse or harassment against persons with disabilities.
People, youth, women and men are being affected in an issue of being attacked under junks. This issue, it has become a problem in our district. We are asking the Zambia Police and other organizations to put their hands together to touch these people, because these children or these young ones which are doing this is too much. And I want to ask you, from you parents out there, brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, to be brothers keeper or sisters keeper, because what is happening today, people today are being killed. We are asking for you, including the government, to help us over this. The district commissioner, the member of parliament, the PS, permanent secretary, this issue, it is too much. We are asking you, at least the four corners of Mungu district, to put some spotlights at these things. It will assist us. But I wish everyone who is listening not to move in the night, but to do things to be at his place at a moment in time which is good. Even during 17:30, 18 o'clock is at his home.
Recently, Western Province Commanding Officer David Mokuka Chileshe called on people to work hand in hand with the Zambian Police Service to curb junkism in the district. And in the sports news, the Chipolopolo signed their workload preparations for the Morocco game with an intense session at the Levi Mwanawasa Stadium in Dolam. Coach Avram Grant and his technical staff were stuttering their staff under the watchful eye of the first president Keith Mwemba and football icon Kalusha Bwalia, who attended the session. Grant has the luxury of the return of a galaxy of stars previously unavailable due to injury and other reasons, who will be eager to light up the show at the Levi Mwanawasa Stadium. Zambia hosts Morocco at 15 hours at the Levi Mwanawasa Stadium in Douala in a Group FIFA World Cup qualifier. Already qualified, Morocco tops the group on 18 points with Tanzania behind them on 10 points. Zambia is in third place with 6 points, while Congo Brazil lies at the bottom with 1 point. Zambia is fighting for one of the 4 second-best place slots that entitles them to playoff opportunity. As we end the news, here is a recap of the headlines. Mongol residents call for immediate rehabilitation of Chisonga Road.